Hi everybody, Denny Strecker here, and I wanted to spend a minute speaking with you today about this week's message of the week. This week we're talking about input equals output. It's one of my favorites, and I think it really goes to the grassroots of everything that we do here at the karate school to help improve people's self-esteem. Now there's multiple layers to this, and I think everybody understands the first layer, so I want to spend some time on the second and third layers. But just to give you an idea, a first layer would be a direct correlation or relationship of I have a test coming up, so I'm going to spend my time studying, so all of that information goes into my brain, and that's my input. Therefore, the output more than likely is going to be I'm going to get a good grade on that test. That's a pretty simple understanding of how things work, and I think most people get that. What I want to do today is spend some time really looking at all of the input that's going on, not only in your life, but your family's life, and making sure it's the type of input that you want so that you're getting good quality output. So if there's something going on that you're not happy about, either yourself, in your general relationships with your family or coworkers or community, or a general relationship with your kids, take a look at what input is going on that generates that output. It's coming from somewhere. People don't just suddenly create things in their head very often, but more than likely that they're getting it from somewhere. So if your kids are being disrespectful, they're either getting that from you, their friends that they hang out with, or TV or video games, anything of that nature. See what is causing that and get rid of it. Remove that as input and replace it with something else. An example would be, I stopped watching the evening news a couple years ago. I found that it's always negative. There's always something wrong in the world. There's always something that's happening that's bad. And I don't think that's going to change, but I also don't think we need to focus on that. So by removing that negative input from my life, it's much easier to have a positive outlook and think, hey, we live in a great country. We've got a lot of opportunities, and there's a lot of things that we can do as Americans that other people aren't necessarily able to do themselves. So we have a lot of things to be grateful for. So shielding yourself from the negative input is going to be able to help keep that positive outlook. So take a look at what's going on in your life and create that barrier around you. We talk about with kids all the time, TV, movies, video games. A lot of these things are just way too violent for kids of a particular age. And unfortunately, parents at times will say, well, I don't see anything wrong with it. They see it all the time. Or, well, if I don't let them do it here, they're just going to do it someplace else. And I challenge those concepts that all of that input into your child is telling them how they should act as they grow up. And so kids don't need to see a lot of these things. A lot of 5- and 6-year-olds going and seeing a movie that's R-rated, which is for 18 and older, with just a lot of the violence and things that are going on. So really analyze all of the input that's coming in and trying to get into your life, cut out the things that you don't want, and you'll start to see a much better output, not only from yourself, but from those around you. All right, good luck. Work on this skill. By no means is it done once and you're finished with it. It's an ongoing process, and you always have to have your guard up in order to protect yourself from those negative inputs. I'll see you in class.